Greetings everyone. I am Dr. Ahmed Masood Khan. My today's lecture is about direct and indirect use of biodiversity. Biodiversity benefits us in two ways. Direct use, providing tangible resources like food, medicine, fuel, and raw materials. And indirect use, offering vital ecosystem services like pollination, climate regulation, water purification, and soil fertility. Directly, it supports industries like agriculture, forestry, while indirectly it sustains life through ecological balance. Today, we will discuss how conserving biodiversity ensures these resources and services for future generations. Biodiversity has been fundamental to human life since ancient times, supporting essential needs like food, medicine, and shelter. Forests in particular have been vital, offering a rich supply of resources crucial for survival. Over the time, industries have harnessed the genetic resources of biodiversity using traditional knowledge to innovate in sectors such as medicine, agriculture, and cosmetics. Growing concern about the loss of biodiversity and the need for its sustainable use led the establishment of the Convention on Biological Diversity (CBD). This global agreement aims to conserve biodiversity and promote its equitable use. Herbal medicine derived from biodiversity remains critical for healthcare worldwide, especially in developing countries where 4 billion people, 80% of the population, depends on it. Ensuring sustainable biodiversity use is essential to preserving these resources for future generations and maintaining the ecological balance crucial for life on Earth. In many regions around the world, traditional medicine plays a crucial role in healthcare. In Africa, up to 90% of the population depends on traditional medicine for their health needs, while in India, 70% depend on it. This trend is reflected globally, with herbal medicine being the primary healthcare choice for 75 to 80% of the world's population, and particularly in developing countries. Herbal medicine is often the first line of treatment in rural and remote areas where access to modern healthcare facilities may be very limited. It includes a wide range of natural remedies that have been passed down through generations and are deeply rooted in cultural practices. Despite the growth of modern medicines, traditional healing system and herbal remedies continue to be vital part of healthcare systems worldwide. Their low cost, easy availability, and cultural significance make them essential for many people, especially in underprivileged communities. Biodiversity is utilized in various ways, with its value extending beyond just biological or ecological functions. The direct use of biodiversity refers to the tangible benefits we derive from it. Conservative use involves resources we consume directly, such as food, fuel, raw materials, and these are vital for our daily survival and economic activities. Productive use, on the other hand, refers to the benefits that contribute to industries such as the use of plants for pharmaceuticals or animals for leather and wool production. Biodiversity also provides indirect use benefits that are not consumed directly but are crucial for ecosystem stability and human well-being. These include services like pollination, climate regulation, and water purification, which are essential for maintaining life. Beyond practical uses, biodiversity holds significant social and cultural values. Many communities rely on biodiversity for spiritual and cultural practices, linking nature with their identities and traditions. The ethical aspect of biodiversity highlights our responsibility to protect the diverse species and ecosystems that share the planet with us. And finally, aesthetic value is also an important benefit, as biodiversity contribute to the beauty of natural landscape, which provide inspiration and joy for many people. Preserving biodiversity ensures that these benefits continue to be available for future generations. Example of the direct utilization of biodiversity is the use of timber, food, fuel wood, and fodder by local communities. These resources derived from forest and other ecosystems are essential for the survival and well-being of many people. For example, timber is used for building materials, while fuel wood provides energy for cooking and heating. Fodder is crucial for livestock farming, supporting the livelihood of rural communities. So biodiversity contained in ecosystem provides a wide range of products that fulfill our daily needs. From food crops like fruits, vegetables to medicinal plants, these resources contribute to our health and sustenance. Additionally, animals and plants provide materials such as fibers for clothing and medicinal compounds used in healthcare. Many people around the world are also heavily dependent on fish, both from marine and freshwater ecosystems, for their food and nutritional needs. Fisheries provide not only an essential source of protein but also support economies, particularly in coastal and inland communities. Thus, biodiversity is a direct source of essential goods that sustain human life and contribute to local economies. It underscores the need for careful management and conservation to ensure these resources continue to support both current and future generations. Productive use of biodiversity refers to the extraction of marketable goods derived from nature, which contributes significantly to various industries. Biotechnologists and agrobiodiversity experts often explore biodiversity-rich areas to prospect and search for genetic properties in plants and animals. These properties can be used to develop improved varieties of crops that are more resilient, nutritious, or resistant to pest and disease. This process enhances agricultural productivity and food security. For pharmacists, biodiversity provides a valuable raw material for drug discovery. Many modern medicines are derived from plants and animals, with researchers continuously seeking new compounds that could lead to innovative treatments for various health conditions. Plants like the rosy periwinkle and the yew tree have already contributed to life-saving drugs, emphasizing the potential of biodiversity in medical advancements. For industrialists, biodiversity offers a vast storehouse of natural materials used in manufacturing a wide array of products, from cosmetics to textiles to biofuels and bioplastics. By tapping into the genetic resources of plants, animals, and microorganisms, industries can develop new eco-friendly products that contribute to sustainable development. In short, the productive use of biodiversity fosters innovation and economic growth while ensuring the conservation of valuable natural resources. Genetic biodiversity plays a crucial role in improving crops and domestic animals through selective breeding programs. By utilizing the genetic variation found in wild species, scientists and farmers can develop varieties that are more resilient, productive, and adaptable to changing environmental conditions. These breeding programs enhance food security and agricultural sustainability. The development of new crop varieties or cultivars is largely dependent on the genetic materials found in the wild relatives of crop plants. Biotechnology has transformed this process, allowing researchers to transform desirable traits such as disease resistance or drought tolerance into cultivated plants, ensuring better yields and greater adaptability. In addition to crops, the discovery of new plants and animal species in the wild continues to expand our understanding of biodiversity. These wild species serve as building blocks for innovations that improve human life, from new medicines to sustainable agriculture practices. However, the loss of genetic biodiversity due to habitat destruction, climate change, and overexploitation is a significant economic and ecological loss to humanity. Protecting wild species is not just an ethical responsibility, but also a practical necessity to safeguard the resources needed for future advancement in science, agriculture, and healthcare. Biodiversity holds immense cultural and religious significance, deeply influencing traditions, beliefs, and practices around the world. In many cultures, nature is revered as a sacred and integrated into rituals and customs. These connections foster respect for biodiversity and encourage its conservation. In India, this relationship with nature is especially profound. Over generations, Indian civilization have preserved and used biodiversity through local traditions, ensuring its sustainability. These traditions often emphasize harmony between humans and nature, forming the basis for practices that protect the environment while meeting community needs. One remarkable example of biodiversity conservation in India is the existence of sacred groups. These are patches of forest preserved by tribal and local communities as sacred spaces dedicated to deities or ancestors. Found in several states across India, these groups serve as a reservoir of biodiversity, protecting numerous species of plants, animals, fungi. They also contribute to ecosystem services like water retention, soil fertility, and climate regulation. Such practices highlights how cultural and religious values can align with biodiversity conservation. Sacred groups not only safeguard biodiversity but also demonstrate the importance of blending traditional wisdom with modern conservation efforts to address today's environmental challenges. The ethical values of biodiversity emphasize the inherent importance of protecting all forms of life. Humans are only a small part of the Earth's vast family of species, and every living organism contributes to the delicate balance of our planet's ecosystem. Recognizing this interconnectedness, ethical principle stress that plants and animals have an equal rights to live and thrive on Earth. Across the world, both religious and secular beliefs uphold the sanctity of life. advocating for coexistence of all species. Many faiths and moral systems teach that humans have responsibility to respect and protect nature, not only for its utility but also for its intrinsic value. In addition to religious perspectives, cultural and ethical traditions also emphasize the moral obligation to preserve biodiversity. These values are grounded in the understanding that every species plays a unique role in maintaining ecological balance. The loss of any life form diminishes the richness and sustainability of life on Earth. By fostering respect for all forms of life, ethical values encourage actions that promote conservation and sustainable living. They remind us that protecting biodiversity is not just a practical requirement but also a moral duty for ensuring the well-being of future generations. The aesthetic value of biodiversity lies in the pure enjoyment and inspiration it offers to human beings. The beauty of natural landscape, diverse ecosystems, and unique species captivates people and fosters a deep connection with nature. This appreciation not only enriches human life but also motivates efforts to protect and preserve biodiversity. Biodiversity is also a significant contributor to the tourism industry. Many people travel to experience the wonders of nature, such as wildlife safaris, bird watching, or exploring forest and coral reefs. Ecotourism, in particular, emphasizes the value of preserving biodiversity while allowing people to enjoy its beauty responsibly. Additionally, certain species hold a special place in the custom and traditions of many cultures. From national symbols to sacred animals and plants, these species are deeply embedded in the cultural identities of communities. They inspire art, music, literature, further enhancing their aesthetic and cultural importance. By valuing the aesthetic aspects of biodiversity, we acknowledge its ability to enrich our lives and cultures. This recognition strengthens the resolve to protect biodiversity, ensuring future generations can continue to experience and be inspired by the natural beauty of the earth. The option use of biodiversity ensures that vast variety of life forms and genetic resources are preserved for future possibilities. It is impossible to predict which species or traditional varieties of crops and domestic animals will be of greatest value to humanity in the future. By safeguarding biodiversity today, we keep these options open for future use, especially as challenges like climate change and food security demand innovative solutions. To improve modern cultivars and domestic livestock, it is often necessary to return to the wild relatives of crops and animals. These wild species hold genetic traits that can enhance disease resistance, adaptability, and productivity in cultivated varieties. Additionally, traditional varieties of crops and domestic animals already in use must be protected as they represent centuries of human agricultural practices and genetic selection. In India, the Biological Diversity Act 2002 emphasized the need for biodiversity conservation. Under this act, the National Biodiversity Authority may form committees to address the conservation and sustainable use of agrobiodiversity, which includes agricultural species and their wild relatives. Protecting these resources ensures that humanity retains the tools necessary to adapt and thrive in the face of future environmental and societal challenges. The direct and indirect use of biodiversity underscores its essential role in sustaining life and enhancing human well-being. Direct uses such as the consumption of food, fuel, medicinal resources provide tangible benefits that meet our everyday needs. Indirect uses like cultural, ethical, aesthetic, and ecological services contribute to the balance of ecosystems and enrich our lives in intangible ways. Together, these uses highlight the intrinsic and practical value of biodiversity. By conserving biodiversity, we ensure the availability of vital resources and ecosystem services for current and future generations. A sustainable approach to utilizing biodiversity is crucial to maintaining ecological integrity and supporting economic, cultural, and scientific advancement globally. Thank you all for your active participation and enthusiasm. I look forward to our next lecture. Thank you all.